Unseen for generations, a Dyad in the Force.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Dyad in the Force. Choco, I'm a little bit tired. Why don't you take over? I'm just kidding. That was a joke. We are going to talk about episode 7 of Andor, as well as some other fandom stuff. As usual, we have a fandom crawl segment where we talk about what else is going on in other fandoms, just really quickly, because we know that everyone has different interests.
Yeah, we're multifaceted nerds.
Yes, I like that term.
I am especially ready to hear Josh tomorrow in the Twitter space when we break into the finale of Hot D.
Yeah, that's the way to say it. Yeah, Hot D. That's no, No, it's gonna be fun. You guys should all tune in and feel free to contribute too. It's an open forum. We host it, but it's it's for everybody. So feel free to jump in whenever you want.
The finale is on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It leaked 2 days ago though, so
I'm so mad.
if for those of you who totally aren't pirating, there's about 50 different ways to get a hold of it now if you wanted to, hypothetically.
Yeah.
Not condoning that.
Well, speaking of which, I don't think our guests need any introduction, but we'll start with Danielle. If you could introduce yourself to everyone, where they can find you, and Revnog or Pizos.
Oh, well, I am on TikTok at writteninthestarwars and Twitter at DannyS94. And what was the question again?
Pizos or Revnog?
Revnog.
Good choice. Josh, same thing to you.
Oh, for the record, before I even get there, the answer is gonna be Revnog too. But I'm Josh, probably more known as MaceAhWindu. You guys can find me on every major social media platform at MaceAhWindu. Mainly on TikTok, also on Twitter, very active, and occasionally on YouTube. So good to be here. And
Good
Revnog,
choice.
yes.
Good choice as well. I mean, is that the red or the white? Or is it just blue or green?
What's up?
Revnog. I was just making Ace Ventura.
Okay. Sorry, man. It's been a long day.
It didn't land. I'm sorry.
Da-da-da.
Choco, what about you?
I was gonna be contrarian, but no, my heart says Revnog.
Do we even know what that is?
Huh?
Do we even know what it is? I know I asked the question kind of like willy-nilly, but
It's at the store. It's you just get it.
I'm assuming
Everybody's getting it these days.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's like it's some form of nog, like eggnog. Right?
Yeah, it's like an eggnog, but it's Revnog. Yeah.
So what about Pizos?
That's why I said it. That sounds like pistachio nuts or something. I don't.
See, that reminded me of like the Pez dispensers.
Or that, yeah, that works too. Yeah.
You know what?
Not.
I'm gonna swap to Pizos because it makes me think of like a pisco sour or something like that. You know.
Interesting.
Fair enough.
I like Pizos being pistachios because we did get that judge snacking on some pistachios, and I don't think they want pistachios specifically to be canon, but in any case, let's get through some announcements really quickly. I do think we have some announcements, and if you have any announcements, Josh or Danielle, please feel free. I think we are announcing, if I can get to the thread, we're currently running our Dyad giveaway right now. It's currently running. You can go to dyadintheforce.com/giveaway and like the video and comment on the video. It is a nice, lovely double framed art piece of Rey and Kylo in like angelic poses. You can see how it looks on the video, but it's an absolutely stunning piece, and it's reversible, so they connect with whichever side you choose to put them on. And we'll be announcing the winner next week on October 29th on Dyad in the Force for that. Also, another announcement is we announced Chronicles of the Force, which is going to be a short form audio drama series that is entirely based on instances where Jedi and Padawans, or apprentices, go through learning experiences and teachable moments. And every episode is going to be a different master, different Padawan, and different master and different apprentice. And our first episode is starring AJ Starkiller and Harith Productions as Tyr Bolin and Kellen Bray. It's going to be the Test of Faith. And officially, I'd like to give an open invitation to Danielle and Josh. If you guys have any ideas for any kind of teachable moments from that a master would teach a Padawan, and if you have a character in mind for that, we can collab on that one.
Well, all right.
Yeah, sounds good.
We also announced the Dyad Lounge. Now, Josh, this might be interesting to you because I know you have a lot of hot takes, but the Dyad Lounge is an offline pre-recorded series for our YouTube channel where we are going to proctor and host conversations between two people who have disagreements in Star Wars. And we're going to try to promote positive and open dialogues and conversations versus like a debate bro atmosphere. Just two people talking about Star Wars. And the first episode is me talking to Alanis at NadaKyber on TikTok on Yoda because she hates Yoda. I love Yoda. That's a good conversation to have. The second conversation, of course, that's going to be happening is a conversation with I need to remember these. It's going to be a conversation with Chris, Star Wars lawyer. Shout out to Star Wars lawyer in the chat, Element Choco, Danielle /twin/Fox lover, and Josh. That episode is going to be about the Ahsoka's trial. And there's a lot of differing opinions on how the Jedi handled it. And whether or not, Ahsoka deserved to be treated the way she was treated. There's a lot of differing viewpoints, and that's an awesome conversation to have. But the third episode is going to be the Jedi or cult. And that's a conversation that's going to happen between DePaul and Choco. And that's going to be interesting. I just want a whole bunch of disagreements on the internet to show that the Star Wars community can disagree on things and still be friends with each other. And that's ultimately
never. Absolutely not. Non-negotiable.
What are you talking about?
Are you disagreeing
We
with
must
me?
all walk away from our discussions with hurt feelings. Absolutely not.
Like, I would agree with you, but then we'd both be wrong. So
That's it for announcements on the Dyads. And anything from you, Josh? Anything upcoming that you want to plug?
Nothing upcoming, but I did mention on the High Ground podcast, shout out to the High Ground podcast, that I was in the very early stages of a Star Wars media news website. And it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of moving parts right now. Nothing really concrete just yet, except the name. It's going to be called Galactic Insight. It'll be opinion pieces. It'll be, I might even have a place where a podcast can finally be news, like breaking Star Wars news or updates and news. Kind of just like think CNN or any news site that you would go to look at it. But I just wanted one just for Star Wars. And while I do acknowledge that it's not the first one to do a Star Wars website, I do want to add some stuff to kind of make it unique. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. And all of you are more than welcome to contribute to it when it's finally ready.
Absolutely. I'm stoked.
I'm expecting to
great.
see some in-depth clone analysis on that by Dan.
Sure.
I could listen to.
You gotta,
Sure,
you gotta hit
absolutely.
up Victoria as well for some pieces on Darth Vader.
Mhm.
Oh, sure, absolutely. My
Only if you're
ears are
ready to
open
cry.
for. Oh, yeah. Well, that's the goal. That's the goal, right? But no, it'll be a lot of fun. That's all.
I will
for me, though.
preemptively sign up for the article that says Yoda was not at fault for the fall of the Jedi Order.
Ooh.
And I think Choco's gonna write one about. Actually, no. My first one's gonna be about Bix. Anyways,
I have to limit my Bix. It's like limiting your screen time. Like I have to limit my Bix time.
shout out to Jedi Starkiller. I can't watch tonight because it's Mama Starkiller's birthday. Happy birthday to Mama Starkiller. Just wanted to pop
Happy
in
birthday.
and say
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
this looks like I can't miss already.
Love Mama.
Screw you, AJ. Every episode is a can't miss. But yes, happy birthday. Danielle, do you have any announcements? Do you want anything you want to plug in the future?
No, not really. I don't think so. I don't have anything big coming up, just my usual videos on TikTok. So
Which are always amazing anyway, so you can always plug them. Go follow Danielle at Written in the Star Wars on TikTok. Those are So if you want like some great analysis and some great takes, for sure. All right, I forgot to switch the topic, but that's okay. We're ahead of the curve and past announcements now and into fandom crawl. I saw Black Adam, and I'm gonna be honest. It had some issues in the beginning.
Yeah.
You saw it too?
Yeah, I saw it.
So let me see if you agree with me on this. The first 45 minutes is pretty sloppy. There's some very rushed story beats that's like, you would think that they would spend more time looking for a thing, and then like, nope, it's there. So you don't get too much of a payoff with it. So like, a lot of the story is rushed, right? And then it hits a point where they were just like, oh, this is how we do a movie, and like the rest of the movie is just fantastic for me. And then,
I agree with most of it. It's will the hierarchy of DC change? No, like he keeps hyping up, like God bless The Rock, but no, it didn't change the hierarchy of power in the DC universe. But I mean, depending on who you ask and depending on what you mean by that, it might have. I do appreciate it for what it is. It's a summer. It's not a summer. You know what I mean? It's like a summer. It feels like a summer blockbuster. In the same vein as like the first Transformers movie. It's kind of stupid fun. I love Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate. And I did enjoy like most of the ensemble cast. Thought the villain was really lame. Not gonna lie, it was very run of the mill to me. But I'm glad they didn't use like a way more iconic villain for that movie, because if they did and they wasted him like that, I'd be like, oh wait, well, no spoilers, no. But no, I
how did my boy Aldous do?
Fun. He did. I thought he was okay. He served as a pretty good foil for Black Adam. But I do think we need to see more of them. We need to see more of all of them. And I'm sure if you give Black Adam another shot, maybe like an antagonist, not a villain, but an antagonist in future installments, maybe he's fighting Shazam, maybe somebody else. I think he'd have another shot too, because like Dwayne has been working towards this for a very long time, and for him to finally get to see it, I am happy for him in that regard. But it was fun. I mean, I'm not gonna pan it like other people did. Some people like walked out looking utterly disgusted, and I was like, this is pretty much exactly what I expected it to be. I mean, like so when I lowered my expectations, I had fun. I was like, it was cool, it's fine. So it was all right.
Yeah, I think I largely agree with you there.
Yeah.
For me,
I heard that it was about drive. It's about power.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And taking what's yours and ours,
I'd say overall,
put in the work and put in the hours,
Yeah. Overall, I would say it's a B+, A-. Towards the very end, it gets A+ to me. But that's like a small portion of the movie. But I still think everyone should see it.
It was cruising D+ for me, a good 45. I was like, all right, guys, what we got to do? It boosted it. I think on a good day, it's like a C+ for me. A C. It's a passing grade. It's all right. It's fine. It's okay.
Okay, I have a question. Because recently, like I love the Fast and Furious franchise. And but I had never seen the most recent one until like a month ago. Me and Pep watched it together, and the movie made no sense at all. Like, right? I mean, they're driving around. They have big magnets on their car that doesn't destroy the car that it's on, or like it just And then, but like there's just certain scenes where the girl starts operating this big 50 cal like machine gun on top of the truck, and I just cheered. It just made me happy. It's It's not a good movie, but it's supposed to
super-
do that.
They're
And-
superheroes.
Yeah, is that what this movie does? Is this movie going to
No,
scratch that itch?
I don't think at any point the movie is like this doesn't make sense or it's as sloppy as Fast and Furious.
Yeah,
I
it's
just think there's
straightforward.
I just think there are parts that they could have done better, you know, and
Yeah.
improved upon.
It doesn't
but-
succeed in
yeah.
what it was trying to do.
I think so.
It got there. It got there. I'll say that it got there. Now a lot of the DC content creators, some of which you guys are probably familiar with, they've been hyping it up, and I understand, like, you know, if they enjoyed it, that's fine. But like, I remember when I saw it initially, I saw a lot of people going like, "This is the greatest thing." I was like, "Okay, that's fine." And then I heard other people who I trust that were like, and I was like, "Okay, it's probably gonna be okay." And I went in and I was like, "It's okay."
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's fair to say it was okay. There are certain there were certain parts in the movie that hit me probably harder than it hit Josh, but overall, it's not a bad movie by any degree. I think it's
not bad.
It's something that you can enjoy. It's Black Adam. It's The Rock.
Yeah.
It's got superheroes like Josh said, and you know, there might be moments that are a little sloppy, but on the whole, the story is cohesive, and like Josh said, also it got there.
It got there.
Any other like fandoms? Hot D. The Rings of Power already finished. She-Hulk finished.
I need to watch it. I haven't seen Rings of Power yet, so I can watch the entire season.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet either. I needed
Heard it was good.
one to go to the side so that I can fully focus on Rings of Power.
I'll
probably really get into it. I'll probably really get into it when Andor is finished and House of the Dragon's been done for a little while. Like, when I need a fix for a new show to get into, I'll be like, "Oh yeah, Rings of Power came out around the exact same time, so I'll watch that. It'll get me through the rest of the year."
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I'd definitely be interested in your videos on that.
Also super amped because next week, next week we're getting our Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can't wait. You know, I have some friends who've already seen screeners, so they've like already seen all of it, but they won't tell me how to get screeners. Working on it.
They also won't confirm to me like if Bryce Dallas Howard is indeed voicing Yaddle.
Yeah, I need to know that.
I was like, I need somebody to take, because I heard that there was an insider who said that Bryce Dallas Howard was in the credits for it. But I was like, bro, if that's true, that's fucking. I'm sorry. That's insane. That's fucking insane if that's the case. Because I was like, who would you get to voice Yaddle? Because she's gonna be one of the bigger characters in the specials. So like, it would have to be somebody who pretty noteworthy, like, right? Like, Yaddle's gonna have some speaking lines. She's not just gonna come in and do her thing. Like, she's gonna talk. And if it's Bryce Dallas Howard, it's like, whoa, damn.
I'm just ready for the world to hear Yaddle speak normally and then be like, "The hell's wrong with you?"
What? Yeah. Yoda's a lion, mother. Yeah.
I mean,
What has he been through?
Yeah.
it's the way he teaches.
Yeah.
He got he got a head injury like 400 years back.
Yeah. In his equivalent of like mid 40s, like 450. It's like,
See how ill I am.
yeah.
I just know that with Bryce Dallas Howard, I mean, I'm ready for Yaddle to speak normally. Although in Legends, she does have moments where she does do Yoda syntax, but
In the High Republic, she speaks normally.
yeah, and I don't know if I'm ready for her to sound like Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah, like that's my other thing. It's like, how is Bryce Dallas Howard gonna do it? Is she just gonna? Because I've heard her talk. Like, we've all heard how she sounds, and she doesn't sound like how you'd expect somebody who looks like Yoda to sound. And you're like, oh, like, is she gonna put like the, or is it gonna be like or is it gonna be like the moment you opened your mouth, you're like, oh, that's Bryce Dallas Howard, cool.
I mean,
Neat.
Which brings into question the other thing of like, okay, well then when's Grogu gonna start talking, and what's he?
Yeah.
You know, just
he's gonna sound like
One-
Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm Grogu.
Yeah. Yeah. It should have been me.
And just to kind of like, I guess, bring up an example of something that Choco and I recently watched, which was Bleach. There's a certain person that goes from one form to another, and Choco was like, please don't be hot, please don't be hot. And in this case, it's like, I'm looking forward to seeing Yaddle, but if I hear Bryce Dallas Howard, I'm like, is she gonna sound attractive? And I'm gonna simp for Yaddle.
That's yeah. Good point. Because I mean, I made a few jokes in the last couple of weeks. I was like, I'm not hearing none of y'all out because there's pictures of her in like the High Republic era, and I was like, I'm not hearing none of y'all out. Y'all are weird. Stop. But if she sounds like Bryce Dallas Howard, I might have to be like, I'd like to. What's the GTA meme where as soon as you take out the gun, he's like, I'd like to apologize. I'd like to apologize. It's like immediately like, hey Josh, now that she sounds like Bryce Dallas Howard, like, is she like a 9 now? It's like, all right, fair enough.
You know, I already saved the audio of like, oh yeah, the age appropriate one, not the scaly lizard king. And that's yeah, I'll be making that once it drops.
I'm just excited for the clones. More clone content.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
Yes.
more like prequel content. I think this is, if this is before Dooku Jedi Lost, is this considered a High Republic content?
Well, it's gonna be before, during, and after.
Yeah.
I mean, Dooku stuff was gonna be before.
Yeah.
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 There's not a lot of Dooku content after.
True. Yeah, understandably so.
We'll see though.
Just him rolling around the bridge of the invisible hand. I don't know.
Are we still on the thought process that one of the Ahsoka scenes is not in fact from the book?
I think it's going to surprise people.
Yeah.
It could be, but I also like they're very careful about not saying which Inquisitor it is until the show comes out. So I don't know. I think it could be either, but I doubt it will be exactly from the book.
Have they really not confirmed that it's not the sixth brother or whoever?
They just
That's
have Inquisitor on there.
Yeah, they haven't said anything. All of it. So the thought that it's from the book is pretty much comes from the fact that there is an Inquisitor there. Also, Ahsoka's wearing her. I didn't coin the phrase, but her lesbian jumpsuit. But other than that, nothing lines up at all with the book. So I don't believe it is. I would love to see. I mean, we know she's run into Inquisitors before.
Yeah.
So this could be. I'm guessing this is actually happening afterwards, and this is kind of, just something that's a little bit later in her story.
Yeah.
Maybe one of them's hunting her down because of what she did to the sixth brother. I don't know.
Could
Yeah.
be.
I actually do have a head canon / like it could happen down the road. I know how like in the kind of like mini epilogue where Vader finds Ahsoka's lightsaber at the end of the Clone Wars. I've always had in my head, I was like, I wonder if, like, wouldn't it be cool as soon as they announced what Tales of the Jedi was, I was like, wouldn't it be really cool if, like, even if it's not ever confirmed, wouldn't it be cool if, like, that's why he finds her, like, lightsaber, like, that's, like, he starts looking for her, and, like, all these Inquisitors dying off, maybe there's some trademarks left behind where Vader's like, I know that ain't who I think it is. It's like there's no way. Like, there's no way. And, like, he starts tracking it, and then, like, him finding her saber is, like, the final confirmation. Even though he's not actively still looking for her, him finding the lightsaber is, like, the final confirmation, like, oh, she's still out there. She's not dead. Like, I always thought that would be pretty cool if it's like, I'm going to keep my eye out for that. And then he finally sees her in Rebels, and that's why he doesn't feel too surprised when he senses her. He's like, yep, the apprentice lives. And it's like, yep, I called it. I found her lightsaber right next to the crashed Star Destroyer. I fucking knew it. Like, so.
I like
That's
that.
just my headcanon, yeah.
I like that a lot.
I like
No,
it a
that
lot
ain't who I
too.
think it is.
Yeah, because they never specified what time when he found the crash and when he found her
Right.
lightsabers. Yeah, that's cool. That's a
Yeah.
solid headcanon like that.
Yeah.
You know-
even if they never confirm it, I'll be like, oh.
We still don't know what planet that is, too. It's just the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's
Also-
like icy or snowy by that time. So it's a seasonal planet.
Yeah.
Thinking about Filoni and how the dude is, I would also not be surprised if what we see is kind of her time period in between, like the final Ahsoka episode touches after she leaves the temple from Rebels, because we know that Dave was holding on for a very long time that she survived. And I know he has that story in his heart.
Yeah.
Let it out, Dave. That's what I'm saying.
Several
I could see it for that, and I could see it also being like flashbacks in the Ahsoka series. If they do that to cover the period between Malachor and when we see her again, we finally learn that she's alive again. Because there's so much time there that she was having to have done things. What did she do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do believe there was 4 years, right?
Yeah, it would have been about that. Yeah, 3 to 4 years. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I know for a fact that the Tales of the Jedi is a pilot program for Dave's little sandbox to just do everything he wants. And he's starting with Ahsoka and Dooku, and I have no doubt that our first kind of animated High Republic, outside of like the Jedi Adventures and Acolyte, will be in Tales of the Jedi. I think we'll get Yoda in the High Republic, and maybe an episode with Avar. Who knows?
I would love that.
Oh my gosh, I love Avar. I'd love it if she got a Tales of the Jedi short or 15,
Voiced by
okay with
Bryce
that.
Dallas Howard.
Yeah, voice. Yeah, or just give somebody who else, like maybe how old is Avar Chris? Roughly, like in her 30s.
30s, yeah.
30s, yeah.
That's what I'm guessing.
Like what's get like a really prominent actress, really prominent blonde actress to play her. Who plays who's the chick in Atomic Blonde?
Charlize Theron.
What's her
Charlize
name?
Theron?
Yeah, get her to play Avar Chris or something. I don't know. That'd be pretty badass.
I
Kate Blanchett Satine, so yeah.
My favorite actress to play Avar is Catherine Winnick.
Who?
Catherine Winnick, and she's Lagertha in Vikings.
Oh.
Ooh. I like her for Visenya in the Game of Thrones universe. One of Aegon's wives. Yeah. Visenya as her would be wild. I'd love that, yeah.
When I think of Avar, the face I see is Katie Lotz.
That was my first fan cast. Do you remember that?
I don't.
Yeah, I had a I had a fan cast back when Light of the Jedi came out, and she was the very first one, and I was primarily speaking of like the blonde white canary look from Legends of Tomorrow. Like it just maybe that was like a holdout from years past. But
Well, I mean that actor has like the physicality. Like she's a amazing hip hop dancer. Like if you've seen her break dance and stuff, and obviously in Arrow and stuff, doing the salmon ladder and being a beast.
Who else? Oh, did we say Ben Barnes was Stalin?
I
don't know why I find that so funny.
I don't see it, but because of Christy, I can't think of any Ben Barnes like fan cast seriously now, because it's her obsession runs deep.
Obi-Shan says Anya Taylor-Joy, I guess, as Avar. I can see that as well.
I do like her.
Young says, I will watch that man in anything. Speaking of Ben Barnes, I think.
Yes.
Season 2 of Shadow and Bone comes out next year.
Oh, I can't wait. Have you seen it yet, Choco?
Nope. Don't know what it is.
So good.
You should. It's on Netflix.
Mm-hmm. It's a fast watch.
Ben is a god. Okay, Young. Relax. We're not speaking about Bix here.
Bix is also a god. Yes.
Yes.
And then just real quick, shout out. I mean, I'm an episode behind on both, but for anime fans, My Hero Academia, Chainsaw Man, had some new episodes popping out. I have been focused on catching up on Bleach, so I can watch that with the rest of the population. So, for geeks of all types, this is just a wonderful time. There's stuff dropping. There's multiple things in every genre and in every medium, and I've seen some people who aren't quite as in love with Andor as I am, because I'm really loving just marinating in this world. But for some people, they only want Dave Filoni projects, but that's awesome because we're getting them still.
And this has been a contention that I've had with most people who ask the question, why aren't people talking about Andor? And I just simply say I would rather the conversation around Andor be less frequent but more substantive than more frequent and less substantive, meaning more hate watchers and more people just like shouting at the show. Instead, we have a lesser conversation. The conversations we're having about Andor are freaking brilliant. And I would rather that than the hate watch crowd.
What's funny is I find myself talking about Andor more than any other show. I'm just haven't been making a lot of content, and I wonder if a lot of us content creators are feeling some type of burnout at this point in time. Because I'm feeling that right now. How you guys feeling?
Well,
I don't know. Go ahead, please.
Well, for me, I think it's a combination of burnout and my feelings about Andor are so different from other Star Wars projects, like not in a bad way at all, just different, that I need to sit with them for a little while. It's not something I can make a video about immediately after. And I need to sit with it, I need to think about it, and I need to find the exact right things to say for myself, because it means a lot to me. And I think that has maybe slowed down my creating for it, just because it's not like Kenobi, where Kenobi was like, oh my god, and I can make a video immediately after it happened. This is just, it's different.
I feel that as well.
I think in general, most of the content I've done has been about lore, and I think the conversations were at a peak when we had Luthen's shop and everyone was talking about the Easter eggs and what they meant, right? And all of the little trinkets that the shop had.
But that's quick consumable content that will get more views and things on TikTok, and it will be pushed out via the algorithm, versus the complexities of a relationship of a sort of surrogate mother who's taken this child who may or may not should have taken him in the first place, but cares deeply for him now. And there's a lot of complicated things, and you know what I mean? You're not getting last I heard from TikTok, they were saying right now 30 to 45 seconds is videos have been doing really well, and you know this and that. I can't make an Andor video unless it starts at 3 minutes, and I have to trim it down, and I have to cut every second, and just like, you know, I have to say my words like I'm using the BR in Halo, just like little rapid fire bursts so I can fit it into a minute, and then people still take it out of context. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried. Mine came out to a minute 45. But that's the thing. It's like, that's why the Luthen's shop and the Easter egg videos like are easy to make, because all you have to do is hit every single one of those Easter eggs, and that's it. And you can tailor your sentences to be either short or medium length depending on the time constraints. But trying to deliver nuance and hit on everything that this show like represents story wise is difficult in that time period. And I think that was me attempting to do that, because like the shortest part of my episode 7 video was me translating those prison cards or sentence cards, but a lot of people were talking about them from my video. Like there were a lot of people who were like, what does this mean? Does he have a different sentence? Are they like, you know, are they like pulling a fast one on Andor? And we'll talk about it when we get there. But like, I spent 90% of that video on like the relationships of people, and like where people are, and like how I love how I love where the show is going. And then, oh, Andor also got profiled, and here's the sentence cards that got stamped, and it's translated. And that was like 10-15 seconds.
Yeah.
But I guess we can just dive right into the episode then, because we're all up in Andor's face right now. General Tiva says, same, my Andor videos are like 6 minutes long. Hey, you know, when you start out on like a didn't TikTok start off as a 15-second platform?
Yeah, initially, yeah. When it grew in popularity, it became, I don't even think they stopped at 30. I think they went straight to 60 after it became more popular. And then it was 3 minutes. And then recently, like last 6 months, it was 10 minutes. So, and I don't think it's going to get bigger than 10 minutes. So.
it better not. Listen, I'm going to need them.
I will say though, I wish the
time.
I will say I wish the update for 10 minutes came before I did like the Thanksgiving Day special we did, where I got all of you guys talking about, because I had to cut down your messages so hard just to get below 3 minutes. And I was like, you guys said some really sweet stuff, and it broke my heart that I couldn't put all of it in there. Because I'm not going to lie, if I put all that in there, it would have been like really emotionally sweet. And I had to kind of just have one little quip from all 40 of the people that wanted to do it, and it was like, dang, man. So maybe this time I can actually make it more
Was my message long?
Nobody's was long. It didn't really show its length until you get about 20 of them in, and you're like, oh damn, I forgot, like it has to be less than 3 minutes. You're like, oh shoot. So like 5 seconds, and then you have to worry, like it has to be like 2 seconds. You have to kind of get creative with where you put it, and it's like, you know, so. Oh, hello. Blinky. Oh, you're back. Okay. I was like, where'd she go?
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, crap.
But nah, yeah, that long story short, yeah.
There you go. I share Obi-Wan Kenobi's sentiment about the cover image. Great image, respectfully. I mean, yeah, I did that on purpose. I knew exactly what that would, you know, elicit. What kind of feelings it would elicit in people. I know my audience. So in talking about so this episode in general, how do you guys feel about where the show is right now, the aftermath of the heist and slowing things down?
I really liked it. I thought it was a great transitionary episode and really smart. to give us time to like really sit with what happened and to understand like where it's going from here instead of diving right into another arc.
Yeah. As the director said, it was an intermission episode, but like there are ways you can write an intermission episode where it's
Right.
things in the intermission. It's weird to have things happen in the intermission episode that is as fascinating, if not more fascinating, than what happens during a climactic episode.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Josh?
Yeah, the show is a lot of the show is not so much about what happens; it's about what it means. And the name of this episode is Announcement, and that's what it did. It's sorry for any road noise if that got picked up, but it's the galaxy finding out that there are people who are willing to fight back. You know, they made their announcement. It's also the Empire announcing that they're going to start, you know, cracking skulls. I love so much that on one hand we had, you know, the Imperials saying, you know, we're going to crush them. The only question is how tight we're going to squeeze our fist. And at the same time, you have Luthen in agreement. We need them to squeeze their fist because they've been doing it so slowly that people have forgotten. It was just beautifully written.
What about you, Josh?
Oh, I agree with both of you. It was an excellent episode. I said this in the past, but like it feels like one big movie this season does. It feels like one big movie divided into 12 chapters, which I think works for the story it's trying to tell wonderfully. I did like this episode a lot. It's one of my favorite ones. It keeps getting better each time. I like I like Cyril where he's at right now. It looks like he's getting closer and closer to being relevant again. Dedra is really intriguing to me. She's starting to put together the pieces, and I'm excited to see where that takes her. Whether that leads toward a promotion or maybe something bad happening to her. Who knows? There might be somebody trying to undercut her or something. But I am also a big fan, not just in this episode, but like in the entirety of the series so far, their willingness to kind of touch on these parallels with real world stuff. Not just like police brutality and stuff like that, but also like the mundaneness of an office job, the mundaneness of how easy it is to wipe stuff under the rug and get out of all that stuff. Like the dude was like, yeah, I have this bad mark on my record. And they're like, oh, well, let's just not show that. I'm sure they'd appreciate that. And it's like, oh yeah, that's pretty much how it works in the corporate world, believe it or not. There's plenty of people with skeletons in the closet who somehow still managed to get this prestigious job. And so, but I really appreciated it. I think the highlight for me was Mon Mothma.
Oh yeah.
For obvious reasons. I love her. No, but she's
There are obvious reasons.
her story is her story is very intriguing to me. I like Take Holma. I don't know what he's up to yet though. He seems cool. He seems cool. Me neither. I don't know if I trust him yet. We need to see what else he's up to. I heard somebody say that he might be a spy for the Empire, trying to like fish out stuff. And I was like, I don't know about spy, but he may not be all good news either. I don't want to say, yeah, but I enjoyed this one a lot. And they threw in the K2 series, the K droids. That probably isn't K2SO himself, but they definitely said, hey, remember these guys? Stay tuned. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it was a KX unit, right? I forget the caption, but it was
like
definitely
a security droid or something.
Yeah, it was definitely one of the K units, and you know, it's we don't officially have Tudyk on this season, so I'm sure it was just put in there to be like, hey, these droids now are a thing in Andor, and by virtue of a prison break, perhaps, you know, he reprograms a K series security droid, and that's how season 2 starts. There's, you know, Tudyk signs on for season 2. But it's interesting that we also, like you said, we got our first office space. in Star Wars. The Cubicrons, I'm calling them.
Even the cubicles in Star Wars look cooler than ours.
I know.
Everything looks cooler. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind working in one of those.
Right?
They all just look
you
like
still-
cockpits.
Yeah.
You're just like.
I'd love to file reports in that. That'd be awesome.
You know, I don't like the split desk part though. Like I want to.
That's fair. Yeah.
I don't
I
know
want
why.
my
it
own
just
little
bothered
world.
me.
Yeah. You want your own little world. Yeah, that's how I like it.
It's ergomantic. It's good for your posture.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. And they're probably working a lot more. I'm not sure what labor laws they have in space, but like I don't know. I've seen a lot of space OSHA violations, so I can't see.
It's probably both. It's probably both way more progressive than the real world, and also way worse than the real world. I'm like, oh, like they give us free food, and it's also like you have to be here 15 hours a day. It's like, jeez, man, God, man, what?
Yeah, they're like free food. Yeah, but all we have is protein paste. They're like,
Oh,
what
You
flavor?
have to eat it while you're working.
Plain.
yeah.
What was it that
Can't leave
they
the
were
office.
they were making? They were making in Ahsoka. They were ration capsules or something.
Mm.
Soylent
Yeah,
Green?
something like that.
I don't. They had taken over Raida to make product
yes.
for their like ration or nutrients.
It's for the
pills
army,
or something.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. It was like specifically for people on ships and things like with less gravity. But it also is going to just scorch the ground. And they're like, yeah, whatever. We'll just move on.
Yeah.
Right?
And you're like, oh, well. No, I did want to say, seeing all the KX series droids tossing people around, I think is going to, when he meets K2, he's going to have some, Vietnam flashbacks for that thing choking him because it doesn't understand idioms.
Dang. No.
I mean, it gave me some PTSD from playing Jedi Fallen Order, and you get to Ilum and you open the door and there's a room full of them and they just pick you up and slam you all the time.
Yeah.
That game gave me a lot of like freaking nom-flat. Jesus, man. The spiders the size of your car, some of them the size of a semi. Yeah, I'm never replaying that game again. And the next game better not go back to Kashyyyk, I swear to God.
Oh.
Man. Better not.
The bat on what is it?
Yeah.
Dathomir. There's a huge bird bat thing, and I'm replaying it right now. And I have it on the easiest setting right now to try to get past
It's still
this bat,
hard.
and I still can't.
Yeah.
I made the
The
mistake.
spider was wild.
Would they just jump out and pinch you down? And you're like,
Oh my God. There was one. There was a
out.
glitch one time. I literally had to. I wish I still had my playthrough on YouTube. I don't have it anymore. But there was a glitch where one was fighting me, and when I was fighting them, like the whole time, I was like this. I was like, oh my God, just die. Oh my God, stop. And I remember I force pushed one back like 20 feet. It was like really far away. And for some reason, I don't know what it was, but he moved so damn fast to get back in my face. I had to pause the game and take like a 5-minute break. I was like, I can't. What the fuck, dude? What is this? No. And then I found out what the white spot. They were like, yeah, you haven't met the big one yet. And I was like, what do you mean the big one? And they were like, yeah, there's a big one you have to fight. And I accidentally came across it. Thing covered the whole. I said, I can't. No, absolutely not. No. So yeah, they better. If I hear Cal going, yeah, we got to go back to Kashyyyk, I'm just gonna uninstall the game. All right, yeah.
There's a lot of
Waste of
things. I think
$60.
the Ogdo Bogdo is pretty annoying as well.
Oh, yeah.
how do
that was-
you just like, bloop, bloop.
Not if you fell
was
into
just-
the hole first.
Yeah.
You're like, what's
Okay.
going on here?
That's
Yeah, what made him scary was you weren't expecting that big motherfucker in there. You're like, what the fuck?
Not at all.
That's what was scary about it.
Young Jones says, I liked seeing Mon and Luthen diverge in that one moment and how they want to go about participating in the rebellion. And it's an interesting point to raise because I think that's essentially what's going to happen. I mean, I don't think I don't think largely this show is going to be about how Andor joins the rebellion. I think the show is going to be about how Andor chooses the rebellion over the partisan movement, right? Because there's different ideologies, different methodologies for how they want to rebel, and so it's clear now that Luthen, at the very least, to some degree, is willing to do things that are necessary. Which brings me to Andor's sister, because I think that Andor's sister is with Saw Gerrera, and
That's a theory I've not heard before. I like that, actually.
I think that's
Very plausible.
I think that he finds her. Well, no. First, he meets Saw, and like there's this kind of arc that happens where he realizes the extremist methods by which they operate is not something that he can get behind, and so there's like a moral contention there, and finally finds the sister. The sister is participating in this stuff and doing these extremist operations, and then they have to kind of clash morally with how they view the rebellion, and then I think, I haven't given much thought as to how it would play out, but it would cause Cassian to then join Mon Mothma's rebellion.
Well, the thing that jumped out at me this episode a lot was all of our assumptions, since we know the story of Star Wars. But at this point in time, there really isn't a rebellion. I don't know if there truly is a partisan movement. I mean, I know Saw's out there doing stuff. Did they say that they were already called the Partisans in Bad Batch? I can't remember if he dropped the name.
I can't remember either, but I don't think it was a
them using
specific.
partisans.
Yeah.
I don't remember
as early
the
as
word
that.
partisans in the episode.
But they did say,
but what I'm
the partisan
mean
front
is yes, but what I kind of mean is, at this point in time, with the way Mon Mothma is talking, it sounds like she's been trying to prepare for stuff but hasn't done anything, and is apprehensive of doing stuff because of what it could mean, because everything could come crashing down her at a moment's notice. And I really enjoyed, because between Mon Mothma, between Luthen, between the girl in Luthen's shop, whose name has left my brain, we don't truly know. We know that all of them are fighting the same enemy, but we don't know that they're all on the same side. So it's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend sort of thing. When she says, when the girl in Luthen's shop says, we talks about killing, Andor because he's a loose end. It's like, did Luthen say that? I don't remember Luthen saying that. Is she running?
That's what I want to know.
Do they have differing thoughts on how they're going to do it? But I do think once we meet Saw is going to represent, like, no, this is the too far line, and they'll finally see, yeah, we're not willing to go that far.
Yeah. Oh, X-Core in the chat says they say in Andor, Saw's partisans.
Skeen says it. I remember now.
Yeah.
He says it to Nemec when Nemec falls asleep.
So there might be like kind of like a guerrilla movement right now that Saw is organizing, and considering Mon Mothma doesn't have anything organized right now, Marva says the rebellion. So that concept or that idea is being planted within people's minds that a movement is happening. And I think that's where it's ultimately gonna go. Now, is he going to join a rebellion by the end of the season? No. I mean, like, he's going to have a moral contention with his sister that's part of Saw's partisans, and then he's going to find his way through season 2 with K2 to the rebellion that eventually gets formed by Mon Mothma and all of the other politicians that are, I think, Bail as well. Because I think, yeah, I mean, reading Ahsoka, Bail is also making his moves too with his department.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are kind of like, I have an idea, and then like all at the same time, and they're like, wait,
Yeah.
wait.
Because we see that
It's you.
Bail
It's like the
is-
Spider-Man.
Bail
Spider-Man meme.
Yeah, Bail seems to be more. I don't want to say more focused, but like Bail seems to be more around when like the Lothal sect is kind of. That seems to be where his like he tends to kind of gravitate towards, at least through season 1 of Rebels. Like when we get to the end of season 1, him, Fulcrum, who turns out to be Ahsoka Tano, like all of that stuff, and then with this, it's probably Mon Mothma, who's the other major future rebel leader, dealing with this, like the more like operative side of. It's kind of cool seeing those two together, like before, without actually seeing them together. It's like, yeah, Mon Mothma, you can kind of see the missing pieces coming together. She's going to probably have more of like a familiarity with like the operative intelligence side of what's going to end up being the alliance, like the political aspect of it all. And then when you see Bail, it's more of like the military aspect of it. Maybe she's funding one and he's funding the other. They're both insanely wealthy, you know. It's entirely possible. I think good point. I just realized that.
I do agree with you there. I think though, more specifically, I think Mon Mothma would end up doing the funding, and Bail would handle logistics of it all, because he was the senator for the shipping and handling and all of the logistics department basically. And so she's funding, and then he's like, okay, we could probably secure like a warship from Mon Cala or something like that, and then just start like, you know, moving things around. This is interesting though. Obi-Wan Kenobi says, what do y'all think of Star Wars and Beyond's theory that B2 emo will be uploaded into K2SO?
Okay, so I just read the Rogue One novelization, and I don't know how closely they're going to stick to the things that are said in the novelization that aren't made clear in the movie. But one of the things is that I don't know if that would be possible, because K2, there are moments when K2 still remembers his original programming and is like not fall. He could fall back into that in order to get certain things done, but he chooses not to. And so I don't know, but that would be a really cute thing.
It would be.
Very
And then
emotional.
It would also be heartbreaking too. Yeah.
There is some behavioral symmetry between the two, like the way B2 delivers lines. It's like, can I speak now? Or where have you been? Like, it does match K2's kind of idiosyncrasies from Rogue One. I don't know if it matches Tudyk's 100%, but it is a nice little theory. I think B2 is going to die. Sorry, I didn't want to just drop that.
I mean, he better. It's on my bingo card.
Maybe it ends up being the Dragon Ball Z Patara earrings type vibe, where Fusion. it's not putting his personality into this body.
They're
they
just merging.
do the fusion dance, and then what we get is an amalgam of both of them.
Yeah,
that could happen.
Yeah, I
could see. I mean, either way, like I do think there's like a legacy thing in play, where like even if he doesn't like become, like K2, like how Megatron would become Galvatron, like I do think it would be a situation where like Cassian's used to that type of interaction with B2, and so he uses his experiences and conversations with B2 and uses that as he engages with K2, who's kind of even their names are too perfect not to be somehow like, it's like, oh dude, this has to be right. Yeah, come on.
Yeah. We coincidentally talked ourselves into the wall that is Young, who as we were conversing said, if we have to see B2 get killed just for K2 to get killed, I will effing lose it. And then I
Fair.
said the things that I said. Yeah. And y'all.
Yeah.
And I think that's Danielle's bingo card. I don't think that's in my bingo card, but I think it's gotta happen to spur Andor along in some degree. That's what I think, at least. Clea, as we mentioned. Oh well, Choco, you said you had something to say. Or no, I mean. You're about to say something.
It's gone now. It's just more direct talk, but we can move on.
Clea, we touched on that a little bit. Yeah, she's not on the same wavelength as Luthen.
But her coat's fire.
It was.
I want to know what her motivations are too. I want to know more about her. I feel like for the first few episodes, she was just kind of, really playing the role of the assistant. And then this last episode is where we're like, oh wait, she...
Like a handler almost this episode?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I did feel that.
They have a really unique dynamic. I'm liking their dynamic. Turns out she's the boss. You're like, oh.
He's listening, and she's like, turn it off. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
It could be, Maybe she's a plant by the partisans.
Well,
It could be.
Shit.
I'm curious because when the topic of Cinta came out, she's like, Cinta's doing her job, and then we see her on a pallet, move her skiing down the mountainside. Where she? What's Cinta up to? And is Cinta making it out?
I have no idea. I want her to. She better.
Is she an Aldani native, or is she?
I don't think so.
We don't know.
Because my question was has she figured out? Is she trying to leave, or is she sticking around? Why would she be sticking around? What's her goal here? Is she still running interference on stuff? Is she kind of after the heist is completed, is she kind of taking a backdrop and serving as kind of a Bix type of role, where it's if I hear anything, I let Luthen know type of thing, or let Vel, who will let Luthen know type of situation? Or is it kind of just she's just fucking around and being nah, man, what's that noise?
What's what noise?
The background music.
I was like, who is singing? What the hell? I was like, oh, my bad. God. I didn't know it was part
Inception.
of the presentation. I was like, is somebody's mic never mind, carry on.
It was a little of a weird drop.
But it was a weird I was like, oh wow, okay. But no, I wonder why she's still there. I don't know.
One thing I could see them using her for is documenting what the Empire is going to do to the Aldani people because of this. Putting that out there.
Oh yeah, because when they were having their initial meeting with Yularen and stuff, didn't they say that they were going to crack down on people using their traditions and culture to hide behind things? They would start essentially just stopping people from doing their cultural traditions and just
Yeah, he said that because he mentioned that it was clearly now something for the rebels to hide behind as they're plotting against the Empire. And so in order to stop that, all of these traditions need to be prevented or prevented from happening so that none of that can take place. But I'm intrigued by Cinta. I do wonder if it's going to have something to do with the Alkanzi airspace, or they have where the TIE fighters were at, the Alkanzi Air Base. If maybe she's going there and she has another job to do there. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
well,
for now she's not made, right?
Plan.
Or was she made by she was made by the family, commanding officer's family. They saw her face.
Mm-hmm.
They saw her face. but she also might have introduced their faces to blaster bolts.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that depends
Yeah.
if they walked out of here alive. And even though they left it ambiguous, like Star Wars can leave it ambiguous if they want. We all know that like she looks like she'd be perfectly willing to make that decision if she had to. There is no like the way that there was no room for like second doubting. It's like nah, they would have if they needed to. They definitely would have. So they can leave it ambiguous for now if they want. Like we all know deep down, like if she had no choice, she would have. Blah, 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 blah. So anyway, I started blasting.
That was a weird song. I'm sorry.
Maybe they took her personality and put it in the chopper. You know, maybe
Yeah. I'm convinced that Chopper's past life was like a war criminal, like some pirate war criminal from like the High Republic era. It's like, let's put him into this droid.
Do
Put his
they?
personality construct into this droid.
He just has PTSD.
I have to ask.
Because wasn't he a
lore-wise-
Republic droid?
Yeah, he was crashed on a fighter, and that's how Hera
His
found
Y-wing, because that was his Y-wing, right? When he saw the crashed Y-wing, that was
Yeah.
his, right? Oh,
Mhm.
poor baby.
him. Yeah.
Dude saw some shit.
Yeah. It's a coping mechanism.
Dude was like, oh my god, I'm gonna stab the next person I see. It's like,
That'd be cool if Cinta used to be a Republic fighter and she owned
So,
Chopper.
yeah.
oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't like the whole thing that a lot of these rebel, like people who eventually go on to be the Rebel Alliance, a lot of these guys either fought for the Republic as like a proxy ally, or like maybe even a separatist who had experiences with the Republic. It's like all these guys have, you know, either them or their parents have been around during the age of the Clone Wars and all that stuff. So it's like at the very minimum, at max, like one generation apart from that era. So
Yeah. I mean, talking about Arvel Skeen, he has a tattoo that represents by the hand, and
Mm.
we have the Emperor's hand, which were commandos for Palpatine. And if we assume or maybe speculate that it could have been a former commando under Palpatine, a lot of these people know what the Empire does, you know, firsthand. And it's like I wouldn't be surprised if like the first inklings of the rebellion are people straight out of the Empire. Right?
yeah, I mean, half of their heist team was former Imperial like who recently turned. It's like you don't really have a choice at that point. It's like these guys used to be stormtroopers and stuff. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of stormtroopers, they, you know, I've seen a complaint. There hasn't been enough stormtroopers. Well, they're in this episode, and they made stormtroopers scary again. You know.
Yeah.
yeah,
Stormtroopers weren't scary in A New Hope, you know. Of course, you know, as we know, Star Wars is camp, and you can have a few stormtroopers running away from Han Solo, even though they all have guns. But when we see them here, especially when Andor is walking and he has to like hide from them, and because you don't know if he's gonna make it out of there if they see him, and then we see the flashback and see, you know, what happened to his dad. They make the Empire feel scary again, you know. Rebels makes them look, you know, like buffoons, which I also enjoy, but it's cool to see both.
I really like how they shot that flashback, by the way. Where it's older Cassian in the flashback essentially, but it's clear that they're making it seem as if he's reliving that flashback again. Oh my god, that's like one of the best like visual storytelling things I've ever seen in Star Wars. I was like, oh my god, because at first it was jarring, but that was the point, right? Like it was the point was for it to be jarring. It's like it makes you go, wait, what is he? Oh my god, he's reliving it. Like, oh my god, like he saw his dad essentially get hanged for something he didn't do, and it's like, damn, I love it.
And that feeling of powerlessness.
And can we talk about, like, okay, obviously it hurts to see the clone troopers. It's so soon after Order 66, after the end of the Republic, be used that way, and to see them as, you know, the enemies, which they were at this point to these people, and that just reinforces the idea that, you know, the everyday people didn't know the difference really between clone troopers and stormtroopers. Once the Empire took over, there was no difference. And how Cassian associates clone troopers with stormtroopers so easily and so readily, and they give him the same feeling. And I feel like that is an area that's not really been explored a lot. It's starting to in the Bad Batch, but just how clone troopers went from being heroes to being, you know, the bad guys.
Well, I really do. I agree. And I also really like how they did a pretty good job of like explaining how quickly it went from the Republic to the Empire, even aesthetically. I love how, I think Dave Filoni or somebody mentioned, they said they went out of their way to even make the clones' mics and comms sound different and way more robotic than how they were before. Like they sounded like robots essentially when they were talking to Hunter and Wrecker and all the Bad Batch in the first episode. You almost feel like they're different people. You're like, oh, these guys, like the shock trooper captains on Camino and stuff. It's just like, he doesn't sound like a clone, but he is a clone. And it's like, you have to do this now. And it's like, they're like Terminators now. And so I think they did a really good job of, even though they had no speaking roles in Andor, they did a really good job of kind of like continuing that trend of like, these aren't the clones that you probably are familiar with. These guys, if you throw a rock at them, they're not going to be like, hey, what you do that for? They're going to be like, pop, pop, pop. It's like, okay, all right, yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of the points of the conscription was that the clones had lost their creativity. They had lost their individuality, and it was their individuality that made them very effective. But when Order 66 happened, they took away their kind of almost, they took away their agency, and they lost the creativity. They became robots on the battlefield, and that's when they had to start phasing the clones out.
You're gonna make me cry.
Which is why I will always argue in favor of the inhibitor chip reason over the, they all just kind of secretly knew. I was like, nah, man. Like, there's something really special about like special in terms of a narrative about a clone losing his ability. Like that's like, it's like they're victims, and I think that's the best way to kind of convey that, rather than deep down they knew they all had to do this really objectively horrible thing, but they're loyal to the Republic. It's like there is no way in hell that many Jedi would have gotten killed if they were just operating off of their free will. There is no way. Some would have done it. I think some would have done it begrudgingly. Like Commander Fox, I'm not trying to make this a hit piece on him, but like Commander Fox Commander Fox probably wouldn't have had much of an issue doing that. Dogma, I think, despite his, fanatic loyal, I think in terms of the Republic, he definitely would have been okay with it. But like, I don't believe that many clones would have gone through with it if there wasn't something like a chip overwhelmingly compelling them to do that. Like, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And as soon as they explained it that way, I was like, oh yeah, I'm okay with this. And it opens the door for a lot of really tragic stories about, like, you look at Commander Wolf. It's like, he looks like I really want to know what happened to him, because it sounds like this guy saw some shit, or maybe even did some shit. Sure. Somebody gave me a hypothetical story. They were like, what if he like witnessed Plo Koon get shot out of the sky, and like he was okay with it?
That was a different group.
Yeah,
they were elsewhere.
So he wasn't like on what, Cato Nemoidia when it? Okay, never mind.
No,
same principle. Would have been pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, he could be. We all we know is that Plo Koon was leading a different group when Order 66 happened, and we don't know, or we might know that the Wolf Pack at least wasn't on Cato Nemoidia. They were on a different mission, a different assignment. Okay. But we don't know what that was.
and which is very important to me, because if
Yeah.
they shot him down and then they had to walk back to their own ship that says "Close Bros,"
No.
you know.
And Dave would do that, so I'm glad he doesn't have an option.
Additionally,
I
towards
think-
Josh's point too. It's
Yeah.
like, we're all expendable, sir. And then Plo Koon's like, not to me. And then they're like,
me.
I'm gonna kill him one day.
No.
That doesn't make sense.
It's a really good retcon. It's funny in the novelization when it's like, oh, I wish I hadn't given him his lightsaber back. Like, damn it,
Oh, well.
But I will say though, I think Commander Bly would have done it without his chip. I'm just saying the way they did Ayla was
yeah.
extra dirty. That seemed personal, Yeah.
Wait, are you saying that Bly would have done it without the chip?
Not because of who Bly is, but because when Ayla was taken down, she was dead on the ground, and they were just still firing.
They did
like,
a weapons envelope and continued to fire.
I want every gun,
Everyone double taps, triple taps.
That's why I didn't like those stories, those expanded universe stories about how they wanted to make sure that it's like, no, that these guys walked up behind her with 50 cals and then continued shooting at her. And it's like, bro, there's no way they did that out of a mutual. I don't like that idea that they were all like
Jedi out of the sky.
Yeah.
Oh, they said that for Plo.
So.
Yeah, I mean we've gone into clones. Young said, well said, Danielle. This furthers the tragedy that are the poor clones. The flashback was sad, but now we know why he went to the detention center.
Yep. Yeah, that was interesting because I was wondering what caused him to be imprisoned in the Empire so early on, and now I know it's because he attacked some clones in defense of his dad.
But I mean, the way they organically wove that information, the flashback, what happened to Clem, especially having Kim just used the name Clem, and then touched on his mom, how she avoids that part of town, but then after this rebellion she's able to walk through it with her head held high. It was just really beautiful and chilling storytelling.
I love her speech about it too, where she's talking to him and she's just like, because I'm too old, I don't care, I don't care anymore. It's not like I'm too old to get involved, it's like I'm too old to act scared of this shit anymore. So it's like, yeah, fuck it, man, let's go fucking burn down some Imperial ships and shit. I'm down, let's fuck it.
She had the energy. She had the energy of the old man in the Avengers, where he's like, there will always be men like you,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that's because that's like a good example of what happens when there's growing discontent, when there's a fascist empire that's crushing down on you, and when enough people kind of demonstrate that it's not an invincible regime, and you realize you're not the only one that's tired enough of it to want to stand up, then you have that extra motivation, despite your fear of them, to be like, okay, you know what, yeah, fuck it, I want to help you. And it's one of those situations where it's like, you've already taken so much from us, you've killed my loved ones, you've done all this, do you realize, does the Empire realize what this kind of stuff does to an average everyday person who maybe in another world probably wouldn't have even thought about taking up arms against you? But when you take their job, when you take their family, when you hurt them, they're gonna be more willing to be like, you know what, I'm picking up my rifle and gonna steal $80 million worth of payroll.
The axe
because
forgets.
Fuck you guys. It's like, yeah, but the tree remember. Yeah, it's like I when I was watching these episodes, particularly the last 3, I was like, wow, they're really, really painting a beautiful picture of what happens when authoritarian governments and regimes overreach, because it's like when you and like the whole phrase of like the empire is choking you so slowly that you sometimes you're starting to not even notice, and that's why you need them to kind of push harder on it, because when people don't realize that they're being taken their rights away and stuff like that, they don't really have a reason to, because they don't know. But when you make it obvious that you're taking everything away from them and hurting them and stuff, that's when you have that ignition that you need to kind of galvanize everybody. So it's always been a really, really awesome. They're doing a beautiful job with this.
Absolutely. And like the writing too with Mon Mothma and the dinner party, where I show you the stone in my hand, you missed the knife at your throat.
Right.
She's boss. She
Yeah.
owns every scene she's in. That's fantastic. But before we start to kind of wind things down, I want to talk about Cyril's collar real quickly. Did it not look like he was emerging from a tunnel? Like, did he really tailor that to be like Mario Brothers pipe? It was not tailored to fit.
It's a sort of like. I wonder if it's a sort of, I don't want to, like, because I'm not a psychiatrist or anything, so, but I wonder if like his fixation with all of this is a form of like coping mechanism. Like I don't know, like, because like it's always, he has all these really interesting quirks about him that I'm like, why do you feel the need to tailor everything? Like bro, it fit you fine before. You didn't need to like tailor the collar to be kind of like, right around the top of your neck. And his relationship with his mom has always been super interesting to me, because it's like it feels like they have a very contested relationship, putting it mildly. I think he's utterly done with her in so many ways. But he's just such a fascinating antagonist. Like, I know people say like he's the loser of the show, and he's playing that part beautifully, but like there's something really intriguing about him, because we've never had an antagonist like him before. Like, yeah, he's probably Empire affiliate. He's definitely Empire affiliated, but he's not like the traditional Imperial officer. He's like a guy who's like, he's a guy who's almost feels like he's LARPing for the Empire. He's like a mall cop who thinks he's SWAT type of thing. It's like, oh, okay, buddy.
That's an it's an interesting point, because when they next show us Dedra, she's speaking to someone who doesn't have their collar up, and it's kind of like, Cyril got that way in with
well, and Dedra also is always constantly fidgeting with the collar, and I thought they specifically did that in this episode, like in the scene after you see Cyril with his very high collar. In the next scene we see Dedra, and she's kind of like adjusting it. I'm like, that kind of feels like very intentional.
I'm sorry. The cat likes climbing my legs with claws in it.
Oh,
they definitely feel like they're. What happened?
Oh no! Yes, I'm wearing shorts, and it climbs up my legs frequently. But yeah, go ahead, Josh.
Oh no, I was just saying, like, they definitely feel like they're kindred spirits in a lot of ways. As soon as I'm betting the moment they start talking to each other, they're gonna be like, oh, like, yeah, you get this, and it's like, yeah, cool. It'll be like it'll be like a ×5 moment where he's talking to the sergeant in the second and third episodes, where he's like the first guy that he's ever met while he was working there that seems to understand the gravity of the situation. So it's going to be that ×5 when he meets Dedra, who's like, I'm looking for these connections here and blah 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 blah, and he's like, you're literally the first Imperial that has come up to me and acknowledged this, and I'm so glad you're here. So I think they're gonna work really well off of each other. But where they end up could be an entirely different. I have no idea where they're gonna end up.
Where they end up
on
baby, come
AL3.
back.
No, I like the point about the collars and how she's always fidgeting with hers, because it's like one of them is chafing under this how strict this empire is, because it's not able to do what it needs to do because of its red tape, but it still kind of allows her to outplay certain people, which she masterfully did. And on the other hand, you have Cyril, who thrives. He tailors his own outfits because he sorry, my brain is like, it likes to be choked. No, that's not what I want to say. But he
okay.
But he like
Right,
nice.
nice.
the feeling of that, he
Dyad
would
after dark.
thrive under that same type of situation. He has a fascination. He has action figures about it, in his bedroom. Just like you said, Josh. This is when you're like, I want to see Imperials, and your mom's like, you have an Imperial at home, and that's what Cyril is.
Yeah.
He's your wish.com.
What's the meme where like the
ISB.
dude who's clearly not Michael Jordan, but he's dressed up as Michael Jordan? He's like, he thinks he's him. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like the caption below. It's like, oh, he thinks he's him. That's so cute. It's like
Young says
he's
that whole
dressed up
scene,
in clone trooper cosplay.
Young says that whole scene between Dedra and Beloved had me cheering for a space Nazi, but cheering for her nonetheless. And I think that's what everybody felt. We're like, yeah, but no.
Get him.
Yeah.
Like I was proud.
Girl boss, but like fascist. Like no.
Yeah. It was one of those like moments where you're glad something happened in their favor, but also don't keep happening because like you're the Empire and we don't like you.
Who's her main rival in the show? What's his
At this
name?
point, Blevin?
Levin.
Blevin, is that his name? I think he's
Yeah.
such a dick, dude. I hate him. He's
Oh, yeah.
such an asshat, bro. He thinks he's so cool. I hope he gets fucking washed at the end. Looking forward to that day.
Like
He is
zero
one of the
redeeming
most. He
qualities.
does the pompous Imperial like really well. Like the dude he's probably good at his job, but like he's way too arrogant for me. It's like, nah, dude, you're an asshole. I don't like you.
Where it's not about the work, it's about the job, for him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
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 You hear it like when she approaches him the first time. He's like, "Listen, don't shake the hornet's nest. Let's just clock in and clock out." Basically, what I heard from him. But
And I love like the Imperial politics indoors, where it's like every time she does take initiative and it's good, it's like they're like, yeah, don't do that shit again. It's like, damn, dude, like what the fuck? Damn, all right.
it's got Stanley energy from The Office, where he's like, listen, this is a run out
Yeah.
the clock type of situation. Like
Yeah.
efficiency is not what we're going for here.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just want to
Um,
get home, hop in the bath, and watch my stories.
Yeah.
but does
Today
anybody
is pretzel day.
have any final thoughts on the episode before we start to wrap things up here and play a little Pictionary with y'all?
I very much enjoyed the episode. I thought it was excellently shot. For an intermission episode, I thought it was just as entertaining as any of the heists in first 3 episodes. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Dedra, Cyril, I'm excited to see where like all these stories start coming together. It seems like in the final 4 or 5 episodes, we're really gonna start seeing stuff come together, and it's gonna be a long ass wait for the next one. So I'm looking forward to it.
Nice.
I'm also really looking forward to it. I think narratively, this was my favorite episode. It did so many good things and told the story so well. I do, however, really, really, really need them to address or have Marva address the taking of Cassian. I need it to be addressed somehow. I need to see complicated feelings. I need to see Marva admitting that what she did was technically wrong. I just have very complicated feelings about her. And this episode, I think, made it like even
Yeah.
clearer for me that it's like anything she says, I just kind of like take it with like a grain of salt. I can't really I don't think she's a bad person, but I do have very complicated.
It's giving white savior.
Yep.
A little like a lot. It's giving a lot of like white savior vibes, where it's like there's nothing really to suggest that he would have been in trouble. So it's like you kind of just took him and dipped. It's like, bro, you know he has people here, right? Like even Clem was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, no, what are you doing? Stop. Bring him back. What are you doing? No.
You think you own whatever land you land on.
Exactly.
It's interesting though, because on High Ground we had Brian from Pink Milk Podcast on, and he loves Marva. Now he's not saying that it was right for what she did, but him having two adopted sons, giving his perspective on having a child essentially dropped off at your doorstep and having to love that kid with all of your heart, and everything that you have is going into that. And it's interesting because both of those are absolutely right and valid viewpoints. If she honestly felt that they were going to die, or if hey, there's a little brown baby that doesn't speak the same language, let's drug him and take him. Both of those are true things that happened. And I would like to see that's why I think the sister is going to play a big role, because the sister will be the key into whether or not they were right about what was coming, or if this was a smash and grab with children.
But
it's complicated because I don't, like I said, I don't view Marva as like a villain at all. I do just there are things about her that hit too close to home for me. Regarding her telling him to stop looking for his sister, to forget about Canary, his home planet, and all of these things is like what is your right to tell him that when he wants to understand this for himself? And that is just like a very on a very like personal side for me. But I don't think she's a villain at all. I just am very hopeful and interested to see how they do address it and bring that to kind of like a close.
Yeah, I mean, it goes into what General Skivis says in chat. When the Aldani weren't all killed off after the Empire occupation, made him wonder if his family had survived at Canary. But we shall see. Shout out to Luke from the Podwans. We will be well fed in the Star Wars department until the last week of November, and then we'll have
right before Thanksgiving.
And we'll have our Christmas break, and it'll be on to the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
And Danielle will have more clones.
I have so much to talk about.
And then we'll be able to itch our Star Wars game scratch, because it looks like the Fallen Order sequel is still on track for a March release. So that'll be something to be. Apparently their production was just smooth as hell. Like nothing. Like they were like, "Oh no, we're still on track. We're fine." It's like, okay, cool, good job.
I'm still holding out hope for my boy
good
Crosshair,
news.
though. I don't think that has sailed too far away.
I'm holding out for Wolf's story in season 2. If not season 2, then season 3.
Yeah. But that'll do it for our discussion on Andor, the episode. It's time for our fun little wind down session. We are going to play Pictionary with our guests. Don't worry, none of us can draw with our mouses. With our mice? With our mouse.
Except for last week.
Except for last week. Okay, so I'm putting the invite link in the thread, the episode thread where the video call was. And I remember the other week, also, Lyris took out her drawing tablet. That was a bit unfair, so I'm going to just throw her under the bus for like 2 seconds here. Then we'll put this on the stream. And we've got it.
And then just a word to the wise, when it's your turn to draw, it'll give you 2 choices. Just make sure you have to pick it really quickly, right? You'll see a little timer at the bottom. That timer is for your entire turn. It's much shorter to actually pick what you are going to be drawing. So yeah, just a heads up.
Need my grumpy sergeant, says Young. We could use the Bad Batch.
I need my boy Gunji. I can't wait to see him amongst the trees.
Yeah. We got a Krillin that looks like, or we got Mace that looks like Krillin.
Yeah, they kind of did me dirty. There wasn't a lot of good profile pictures.
Yeah, Danielle looks like Caillou, so it's cool.
Oh, hi. I guess I'm going with that.
All right, let's start. Okay, let's see what if I can make this happen. All you'll need is this. That's all you'll need.
Oh.
Whoa! That was a waterfall of
It was like
guesses.
Kanan is close. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to be exact about it. What the fuck?
Yeah.
All right, let's do.
Looks like Young was on top of it.
Oh. What? Wait. Hey, pause. What's this?
Oh.
Huh?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Y-wing.
Oh.
Is it?
Oh wait, was I supposed to be quiet? My bad.
Yeah.
I got it right first. I win.
Young said that's phallic.
That was not my intention at all.
It's giving penis. You understand that, right?
Yeah, it really was.
Choose quickly, Josh.
Oh wait, what? Wait, what?
It's up to you.
Wait, what? Okay. Wait. Wait. I'm confused. Okay. All right.
I believe in you.
Wait, what am I supposed to do? I'm
Just start drawing whatever your prompt is.
Wait, the prompt is weird though. It's like
Your goal is to make us type that answer, so you don't have to draw it perfectly. I mostly do.
I like to do concepts, like in equations. If I can't just draw a character.
what kind of prompt is that? What the fuck? I don't know how to convey this. One of y'all guess. This is weird. Y'all set me up for this. Ruler's not completely off.
Oh.
No, it's not Senate. It's not Queen. It's rule. Like what do you do when you rule? Like you. What's the idea of ruling? Are you like? What do they consider you? Like not like okay. Reign is closer. Like you are the governed dynasty. Like Jesus Christ. This is so stupid. Don't ever play this with me again. You couldn't give me like Yoda or something.
What was it? No, I don't control
It
what you're
was like
what you got.
supremacy or something.
Oh, that's
Oh.
that's
hard.
that's Snoke's ship.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck off. Stupid. The supremacy. Oh, the ship? Oh, fucking hell. Anyway.
I wonder.
It's
Okay,
the colors that are important.
I might be. Was it like lowercase when you saw it? Is that why?
Yeah.
I don't think this game.
Windmill?
I can't see white. No.
Golden rod. Slingshot.
No, that's not it. Whoa.
Shoot, I'm trying to remember how to draw the. Okay, these are separate. Okay. Ignore this.
Okay.
This is just going to be very big. This is not going to make sense to anybody.
You never know.
Oh god. God damn it. Why
is
can
it
he
a-
not?
Oh, never mind. I feel like I'm like this close to knowing what it. Okay. Is it?
What was it?
It's Cody. I was trying to draw his sunburst, but then I was like, no one's gonna get the sunburst
Oh.
unless they're obsessed with the
Let's see if I remember this.
I realized a
I
little too
love
late
it.
on
It's
How did that? I don't remember. But
God damn it! What was her name?
her
God
name?
damn it!
Yeah,
Shit. Fuck! Can I look up her name? I know who it is.
if you know it, yeah, I wouldn't mind.
I know. I can see her. She's played by.
I don't know if that helmet is how it went, but
Jesus, there's like 50 different ways to. Dirty. No. Fine. I'll look it up.
I don't mind if you're on the right
Here
track.
it is. I know what it is. Yeah.
I feel confident that
What?
I'm spelling it correct.
Wait, I think I did spell it correctly. Oh, I have to put the whole thing.
Yeah. Wait, her last name too?
Yeah.
Oh, they want that.
What? Oh, shoot.
Okay. I was like,
It was Zori Bliss with 2 eyes.
oh Jesus.
I will say that this platform could use like a little bit of like wiggle room.
Let's go.
Gotta put something in there, bro.
Circle.
It is a man. No, it's not.
That's a little bit phallic too.
Okay.
What is that?
Damn, Choco, you got something you want to tell us, bro?
Oh.
Oh.
Oh wait. Okay.
It's a specific name,
Oh.
so not the species.
Now it just looks like ET.
Oh.
You're almost there, Danielle.
I know. I can't remember.
It could
how
be
to
like
spell
4 different ones.
it. Oh shit! I'm dumb.
Think Lion King.
We got them all in the chat. Lamasu, Tonway.
Nelise Lamasu Mamatusa.
Why do I get all these weird? Oh, fine. All right, hang on. I need a reference for this. Hang on.
You're good.
What a weird ass. Ugh.
I
Ew, he's
apologize in
crusty looking.
advance.
All right.
Not in advance.
I'm gonna put Geo too.
Wait.
Oh.
Oh, fucking hell. My bad.
Oh.
Okay.
Yep. He got it.
Okay.
Very distinctive face.
Why can't I never spell anything
Oh,
correctly?
you might have been typing too much.
Yeah.
I would have gotten.
Did you guess
much
Geo?
longer ago because I typed.
He guessed geode. Is it geode?
Oh, it was just Ochi. Okay.
Yeah, so I typed Ochi of Bestoon the first time.
Yeah.
And I spelled it correctly. It was like, nope. And I was like, I think it is.
Okay.
All right.
Alderaan.
Oh wait. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't mean to type that. My bad.
I mean, this is. I'm not drawing that. It's gonna end up even worse.
Wait.
This is gonna be This is gonna be a tough one.
I don't know. What the fuck?
Well, okay. So Choco was a little bit close with Dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, that narrows it down for me. Thanks. Yeah.
It looks like a
I give
cloud.
up. What is
blowing.
it? Force
It's
vision?
force vision.
Fuck off. You might as well have asked me to calculate the mass of the sun.
I think I made the perfect game for
Playing this
Josh.
drunk would be funny as shit. Just saying. Might have to have a high ground after dark or something for this.
I don't remember.
Shit. The fuck?
Heaven.
Oh.
Oh.
Hell yeah. Guys, there's no way there's no way. I was getting ready to say there's no way you don't know who this is.
Oh.
Vin
He said
Diesel.
Babu Frick. He said Babu. Hey!
What? Why? I feel like I should know this. Whatever. I'm sorry.
If he
Oh.
drops some paint in it.
Oh. Yeah, why don't you use gold?
My bad.
Yellow.
How long does this go, by the way?
Up to 120 points.
Gotcha.
Do you have a heart out? I can.
No, I was just wondering. The boys want me to lose an Apex in a few minutes. That's why.
Gotcha.
Are you intentionally doing this?
Choco.
Bro,
He starts with the most
I'm
phallic.
gonna get you in trouble, dog. The next round he's legit just gonna draw a penis. Ain't no way.
Oh.
What the fuck? Oh.
No. Oh wait.
Ew.
Huh?
Wait, oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. Here we go.
Yeah.
I draw its head first. I can't help it.
Just don't draw it
It has
penis
a
like.
proboscis. I'm seriously not trying.
But it's undeniable. People are seeing it. Oh.
Oh.
No,
No?
I was so.
You're not gonna
confident.
get this right. There's no way.
Oh.
What?
Oh, I got it.
Oh.
That's all I'm giving you. There's no way you guys get this. Webbish bog.
Oh, yes, I got it right.
How?
I was sure that wouldn't have been an option, but yeah.
Webbish bog.
Mother Talzin.
Mother Talzin.
That's the villain on Captain EO.
Do you know who it is?
No.
Damn, I'm not that bad of a drawer. Spider Mall.
So the chat got
yeah,
it too.
no, that was good. That was good. It just when I saw it, I only saw Captain EO in my head, and then that just never went away.
Okay, this is gonna be not great. I'm sorry.
Spider Mall, Spider Mall.
Does whatever a spider mole.
Why would he be green?
I don't know. Oh, hello. Oh,
This is.
are those teeth?
Oh,
I'm not even just drawing eyes now.
What? Now I'm in the dark?
I don't even know what else to draw.
it's Jim Carrey in The Mask.
That is clearly.
Trandoshan was close. Oh no, that is not. Oh, that was a mistake.
Well, actually, I have to step away for. Oh, boss. Hold on, I have to step away for an important delivery. Choco, take over.
Oh, your food's here. Good job, man. I need to order. My
No,
food
it's
too.
your turn to draw. All right. Well, then he's just gonna skip his turn. It's some high value computer parts that you don't want to leave on your porch for
Fair.
any longer than you
Yeah.
should.
Mine's usually food. That's what I'm ordering. So,
Yeah.
in fact, I'm gonna probably start ordering it now before it gets too late.
Let's see here. I'm trying to think of how I can not make this look phallic at all. It's not a phallic thing. I don't believe. This color is not quite doing it for me. Let's what? We'll just stick figure it.
All right, I am back. And that is.
What?
The hair is, fucking hell. I give up. Who the fuck is that supposed to be?
Oh,
Fuck
Fennec.
off.
Oh, the orange was supposed to. Okay.
The orange was supposed to give it away.
Yeah.
All right, Michael. All right, Michelangelo. Who is this? Why am I getting these like expert level?
No, I just
I
had
believe
to.
in you.
I just had to bring a package in because it's an important computer part. Expensivo.
I can't even find out who the fuck this is. They don't even have a face. What? Oh my god. Okay. All right. This is a. All right. You know what? Fine. We'll do this my way. All right.
Hey, I think it's charades, man. You gotta
I'm
get
con-
us to the idea. um.
This is so stupid. There's no way. If one of y'all gets this, I'm impressed. This is so stupid.
Huh?
Oh, Element. Yes, but not the person.
Oh wait.
No, you're close. What the fuck is this supposed to be, dude?
What was
the
it?
name list?
Oh, the name list.
Oh.
Yeah, I got these
that's
niche ass
hard.
answers and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not me controlling what people get, by the way.
Unacceptable. I don't believe you.
Unacceptable. You should read the comic so you know what the name lists look like.
I don't know what. Yeah, I give up. Yeah. I'm not even gonna pretend I read. Yeah, no, I don't. I need to read them. Who the? Oh, okay.
I was not even.
Choco's not the only offender here. I like how you just tried to cross it out like it wasn't a thing.
Well, now I'm laughing and getting everything messed up.
Got it.
Oh, good. Someone got
Oh,
it.
Choco won.
It's good. It is good.
It's not good.
I feel like you're slowing down on purpose, so I can't guess this.
Huh.
I'm really not. I'm trying to figure out how to make it more believable.
Huh?
Wait,
I'm sorry. I'm so bad at this. It was Mr. Bones.
Mr. Bone.
Miss
The red was supposed to be there.
It was like, oh, it looks like a B1, but it's red. Oh, Mr. Bones.
All right. Well, that'll do it for that. Thank you guys so much for being on Dyad in the Forest. I hope you guys had fun, especially with that Pictionary. We like to insert that in the very end just to kind of wind down and get everybody decompressed. But if you have any final thoughts or any plugs you want to make, and again, to reiterate where people can find you and your content, let them know. We'll start with Josh.
Thank you for having me, Element. Choco, it was nice meeting you, Written in the Stars. Thank you for an excellent conversation, all of you. You guys can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at MaceAhWindu. It's all the same title. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on. It's always a pleasure to see you dragging folks on Twitter.
I need to calm down, to be honest with you, but thank you. I appreciate it.
No.
I've only seen it when it needs to be done. So
You've only
Oh,
just
okay, that's
begun.
good. Yeah, then I will keep doing it then. Thank you.
Yeah. And Danielle.
Yeah, I'm Written in the Star Wars on TikTok and Danny S394 on Twitter. and it's all linked. But yeah, thank you so much for having me on here. It was nice to talk about this episode. Like I said, it was my favorite narrative, so it was nice to chat about it with other people.
Yes. Now I know, Josh, it's more of an issue because you're. But what time zone are you, Danielle?
Daniel's in the UK.
Yeah, it's early right now. Yeah.
So would you be able to wake up for an Andor watch party episode 8?
Yeah, because the show actually comes out at 8 a.m. our time.
Perfect.
Or my time.
Lucky,
So,
yeah. It's usually a work day for me.
Yeah.
3 in the morning on a work day.
Perfectly understandable, but if you ever want to, Josh, the invite is always out there. I know it'd be next to impossible for you to stay up. And
Hey, if I'm already having trouble staying up, and because I'm famously bad at going to sleep, like I might tune in real quick and be like, "Well, I'm not going to sleep tonight. I guess I'll do a watch party with you." So.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know the day of, or even the last minute, and we'll throw you in.
Cool. All right, guys. I'm sorry to not be here for the outro, but they're like blowing up my thing. So
No worries.
Is there anything else? Alrighty.
Nope, that's it. Thank you for being on, Josh and Danielle, and thanks everyone in the chat for tuning in. That is it for this episode of Dyad in the Force. On to the next one.
Did Danielle get to say where she goes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, for Light and for Life,
We're all the Republic.
and may the Force be with you always.